And welcome back, guys. Hope everyone's doing well. It is a Thursday morning. I am here with your Liverpool Inter Milan match review from last night. Hope everyone is doing really, really well. Um, so I've got a couple of shows today. I've got this today, and later on this evening, I will have my New Liverpool Norwich preview. So look out for that. But of course, guys, if you're new, don't forget to subscribe, like, like button, smash the heck out of that like button, guys. That's the important one, yeah. Smash the heck out of that like button. You let YouTube know you're watching me. Let everyone know you're watching me. Share the video, Facebook, Twitter, wherever you can, Reddit, whatever you can do. Share the video out, guys. Hope everyone is doing really well. This is the match review, guys, and we are going to get going in 1 second. Right, guys. So Inter Milan nil, Liverpool 2. Hi, Kai. So, Kai, you should have a blue wrench bar next to your name now. So that's that you should have that now. So you're moderating. How you doing, Jamie? I'm doing good, Kai. I'm doing good. And like Kai says, everyone leave a like on the video. It's very important. Like it, like it, like it. Let YouTube know you're watching me. Helps the algorithm. YouTube push more of my videos out. So smash the like, guys. So Inter nil, Liverpool 2. Um, I watched the game back a bit earlier. Yeah, wicked guy. There you go, my man. I watched the game back a little bit earlier, and yeah, watching it live. Obviously, if you joined me live with Steve from Statman Stubbs Football Channel, doing the watch along, he will be joining me for most of my watch alongs from now on. It'll be me and Steve together. So do watch out for that, guys. But watching the watch along last night, it weren't the greatest of games. I thought Inter Milan were quite decent. Obviously, they had no shots on target. I mean, they hit the crossbar, but it's not really counted as a shot on target. It didn't really. Allison didn't have a maker save. They were good in the midfield for the first hour of the game. I thought Inter Milan dominated our midfield in that first hour. They were the better team for me. They were very decent in Milan last night in that first hour, especially with their midfield. Their midfield was the midfield was doing a lot of problems to ours last night. And but as soon as the substitutions were made, that game got turned on its head. But you know, it. But I still think we went through quite comfortably. I really do. Yeah, Kanate and Van Dijk were fantastic. They're a fantastic partnership, them two. Um, yeah, I thought we went through quite comfortably still. I said I watched it back. When you watch it live, obviously, when you watch it live, you're stressed out. You're in the moment, and all that. But once you know the result and you go back and watch it, I thought it was quite a comfortable win in the end because I think Inter Milan played the best they could. I think Inter Milan played the best they could, and they couldn't even get a shot on target. And I don't think Liverpool got out of second gear last night. The only times Liverpool really looked like they wanted to change it up a bit was when the goals came. You could tell Liverpool just turned up a few gears for the goals and then went down a couple of gears again. That was job done. No, I don't think Liverpool exerted that much energy last night. I think Inter Milan exerted far more energy than us. I think we walked past this game. I really do. It wasn't a great performance by us. Don't get me wrong. I don't think we performed very well. I don't think we played that well, but I don't think we had to. I just don't think we had to. I thought Klopp got it spot on with the changes yesterday, Jamie. Yeah, he did get it. He got absolutely spot on. The changes were perfect. I mean, look at the players we brought on that came off. So obviously, Jota come off. It's the only sad point in this game. Jota twisted his ankle and it got quite swollen. So he's having it assessed today with a scan. There's some rumours that it might be ligaments, but if not, it's just a twisted ankle. As you know, when you twist your ankle, it hurts like hell, swells up. But if it is just a twisted ankle, he'd be fine. He probably won't play Norwich, but he should be back for midweek for Leeds. If it is just a twisted ankle, if it is ligaments, you're looking at 2-3 weeks probably. So yeah, just hopefully it's not that. That's the only sour patch on this game. That's really it. That's Jota's injury, but the 4 players. We brought Diaz on, Keita on, Milner on, and above course the man in my background, Mr. Bobby Firmino. And Bobby again was absolutely class last night. He changed the game for me. I think Bobby changed the game because as much as I love Jota is a finisher. He's a goal scorer. That's what Jota is. That's what he gives us. He gives us. He's that fox in the box. He's a predator, and Bobby's not that. Bobby likes to get the ball. He don't mind his back to goal. He'll hold the play up. He likes to come in deep and join the midfield. And because Bobby did that when he came on last night, the defence and the midfield were able to press forward. They were able to really press forward. And once they're pressing forward, we're starting to play football in Inter Milan's half and putting all the press and pressure on Inter Milan. And that's how we like to play. We couldn't really do that in the first hour of the game. It weren't really going for us. The ball weren't sticking with the final 3, and the midfield were very exposed because Inter Milan were keeping their width really wide. They're playing 3 at the back, 5 across the middle. But what they're doing, they're keeping Perisic and what's his name? I can't remember his name right now. Dumfries. Yeah, I think they were calling Dumfries and Perisic, keeping them really wide, stretching the game, and then their midfield 3 in between. They had big gaps so they could get in between our midfield because we weren't pushing up far enough, squeezing into Milan. So as soon as Jota went off and Firmino came on, where he drops deep and holds onto the ball, we was able to press up and squeeze into Milan into their own half and play in their own half. The way we do like to play. Just notice this light is really shining on my forehead. There you go. That's better. QNTV, how are you, my man? Hope you're good. Good result for Liverpool, mate. People smash the like button. Yeah, everyone listen to him smash the heck out of the button. Hope you're good, fella. Hope you're good. Oh yeah, Jamie. I don't know if you know, but I was watching Team Coppish this morning because I was watching the match review, and Ox got injured in the warm up. Apparently, Ox is all right. Apparently, that weren't anything. I've been looking online. I haven't seen anything about Ox being injured. No talk about Ox being injured anywhere. Yeah, someone said they saw that live. That it was a photo going round, weren't there? That he got injured in the warm up, but I've literally not seen it anywhere. So I don't know how true that is. So I'm not going to worry about that too much at this moment in time. But yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on it, obviously. But yeah, I've not really seen anything. Unless you guys can find anything for me on that and share it. I'm not too sure at the end of the day. So if you guys can find anything, see anything about that, share it with us. No problems. But yeah, I haven't actually seen anything about that so far. Yeah, but Bobby changed the game for us last night. I thought he was fantastic. He did everything we want him to do. As that position he plays, he's fantastic at it. He's dropping deep, holding the ball, bringing others into play. That's Bobby Firmino for me at his best. That's Bobby Firmino for me at his best. He's comes down to that. He's absolutely fantastic. Yeah, like I said, it was a great header as well. Yeah, his goal was fantastic. His goal was absolutely fantastic. The way his movement for the goal, the run towards the front post, and guiding it into the back post corner, beautifully taken goal. He knew as soon as he headed that, as soon as his head met that ball, he knew he was scoring. He knew that was going in. He could tell by the way he looked behind him. It's a fantastic, fantastic finish from Bobby Firmino. And again, as I say, he changed the game. He was my man of the match for me. He was my man of the match. I just thought he was excellent yesterday. Absolutely excellent. Other people that came on, Diaz. I thought Diaz looked so lively when he came on. Really lively. He's so quick, so nimble. He's got great trickery. You know, he came on and was like, you know, I'm going to make a difference. And he did make a difference. He was fantastic for us. Morning, Steve, my man. Hope you're well. Thanks for Kai coming onto the channel. There you go. Yeah, Kai's doing bits. Hope you're good, Steve. Hope you're good, my man. But thanks for last night, Steve. And obviously, Steve will be with me future watch-alongs as long as we're all available at the same time. That will be going forward. But guys, Diaz, Firmino, Bobby for me, he was my man of the match. Me and Steve talked about this last night. Bobby for me was my man of the match. I think he changed a lot of the game. As I said, him trying to get hold of the ball, keeping the ball, coming into midfield. And as soon as he did that, the whole team could press up into Inter Milan's half. And you saw the difference. You saw the difference in the term of the way we were playing our game. That's the way we want to play our game. Yeah, next watch along on Saturday, guys. Everyone tune in for that. Make sure you tune in. Steve, obviously, Snapman Stubbs Football Channel will be with me for that game. 3 o'clock kickoff. I thought Naby was really good as well, and he was aggressive. That is what we need from him. Yeah. Naby, again, excellent. Excellent when he came on. As you say, he was aggressive in the tackle. He wanted to keep the ball moving. Naby just likes to go one way. Naby likes to get hold of the ball and just go forward. That's Naby's game. And I thought he did that excellent when he came on yesterday. All the subs improved the team massively. And, you know, and the other one was our captain, Jordan Henderson. Now, Hendo gets a lot of slack for some reason off Liverpool fans. I don't know why. I really don't know why. But Hendo, I thought again he was fantastic when he came on. He made a difference where Harvey Elliott, who started the game, and I love Harvey. We all love Harvey. It just weren't his game yesterday. It just weren't his day. But what Hendo gave us, Hendo won't snap out of a challenge. Hendo got into challenges. He got stuck into their midfield. Because me and Steve, when we were watching the game last night, the Inter Milan players, sorry guys, the Inter Milan midfield had too much time on the ball. They had too much time on the ball to dictate what they wanted to do. And, you know, Hendo came on and that weren't happening no more. They were getting stuck in him. He got really stuck into him. Came on for Fabinho, which shocked us, me and Steve, to start with, because, you know, I thought Fabinho needed to stay on that pitch. But credit where credit's due, Hendo did make a difference. He came on to that number 6 position, sat in a deeper position, got stuck into tackles, and him and Keita, both the same, getting stuck in. Thiago. And we're starting to move the ball a lot better. Starting to move the ball in midfield a lot better. The ball was sticking up top because Bobby was holding on to the ball. So the ball was sticking. Diaz was making tremendous runs off the left-hand side. They couldn't pick him up at any time. He was making great runs, dribbling. His dribble skill is fantastic. His pace is unreal, causing a lot of problems. But that's the squad in depth, guys. I don't think 5 weeks ago we could have made these substitutions. You know, you bring Fabinho off, Jota off, Mane off, you know, and you're bringing on a Diaz, a Keita, you know, a Hendo and a Bobby Firmino. I mean, you're bringing off class for class, and it makes the team better. You know, there's no quality drop off. You know, the quality coming on is just as good as the quality that went off. And that helps us massively. That helps us massively with this squad now. That's what we need to keep doing going forward with this squad. Try and keep your squad as fit as we can, as healthy as we can going forward. Obviously, we know Jota with that ankle issue. Hopefully, it's not ligaments, and it's just a twisted ankle. And he'll probably be back for Leeds in midweek. You know, we've all twisted our ankle. Take a few days, take take the weight off it. He'll be getting massages, low guys, getting that swelling right down, running back on it. So hopefully by next Wednesday, he'll be absolutely fine. Fingers crossed it's not ligaments. Kai, yeah, I don't know why Henderson is disrespected as well. He got that winning mentality, what we need. Yeah, he's got that winning mentality. But people disrespect him because, he has declined a little bit, which is fine. 2 years ago, he was fantastic, awesome. When we won the league, he was the player of the year. I mean, for a reason, he was tremendous. And he just declined a little bit. There's nothing wrong with it. It doesn't mean he's a bad player now. He does bits for us. He's our captain. I think, though, with Hendo, that number 6 role suits him. I really do. I think that number 6 role suits him now with his skill set he's got. He's very aggressive. He can pass. This myth that Jordan can't pass does my head in. Hendo's got a great ability of a ball. He can pass really, really well. He can get the ball moving forward. So yeah, Hendo going forward probably for me will be that number 6. Hi Christopher, how are you, my man? Hope you're doing really well. Yeah, so I really like Hendo in that 6. That's where I'd play Hendo. Obviously, when Fabinho's playing and Thiago's playing, Hendo, he's going to play a number 8 role, get a bit more forward. I don't think that suits him quite right just now. I'd like to see him play a bit of a deeper role. So, if Thiago ain't playing a game, you can have Fabinho and Hendo just sitting there, have more of attacking number 8 in front of them. We've got options there. We've got options. What's your thought on the away goal change? See, I prefer no away. Look, away goals, sometimes you can get games where a team will sit on 1-1. Say it's 1-1 in a game, and a team will just sit on 1-1 because they got their away goal and they won't do nothing else for the whole game. It spoils the entertainment of the game. Now that there's no away goals, teams are still going to go for it. There's no sitting. There's no sitting on that away goal no more and just defending it and defending it and defending it. There's no more of this. We got a 1-0 win away from home. That will do. We'll go out in the home game where we'll just sit and make sure we don't concede and we go through. Now that's out of the way, I think you'll see more attacking games. But at the same time, do you need 2 legs if you've got no away goals? That's another question. So personally, I prefer it. Away goals, it did irritate me just seeing teams sitting there on 1-1 or 2-1 or, and then they have a 1-0 in the first leg and then they play a 0-0 in the second leg. It's not what I want to watch. Kai, just a question. Do you think Hendo gets disrespected because yeah, that is the reason. That is the reason, Kai. Steven Gerrard retired the captain's armband to Jordan Henderson, and from there, everyone's like, Hendo is no Stevie, which we all know. Hendo knows he's no Stevie. He's not silly, but he captains in a different way, where Gerrard will captain with his ability on the pitch and his massive aura. Stevie G's got a massive aura all around Europe. There's no one who don't know who Steven Gerrard is. He's respected all around Europe. He's a great footballer. And I think that he led from a captain from that point of view, where Hendo hasn't got that as a player, but Henderson has got great leadership qualities. You only have to see Hendo through the COVID time for the virus for the last 2 years, when games were being played behind closed doors, what he was doing for the community and outside of football as well, and getting all the Premier League captains together to help football carry on and all this sort of stuff. He's a tremendous leader. And if he was in the England squad all the time, he should be England captain as well. But yeah, but as I say, Bobby, for me, changed the game. I thought he was tremendous. I thought he had. I just thought he was the difference. I really do. I mean, I know some people thought Hendo was the difference. I think Hendo was fantastic when he came on that midfield area. But Bobby's ability to hold the ball up top should never be underestimated. never underestimate Bobby's position at this team. His ability to hold the ball up and let the defence and midfield start to squeeze and push up against your opponents is massive, because that's how we want to play. We want to play in the opposition's half. That's how Jurgen Klopp likes his football. He likes that high risk, high reward. That's why he play with the high line. Get right up top, get right up to the halfway line, and just keep them in their own half. But if your forwards are not holding onto the ball and it's just coming back all the time, it's impossible to do that. I like just Bobby coming on in these Champions League games. They just suit him to a T. Bobby in Europe is just, I think it's better than Bobby in Premier League, because the way the games are played, they're not so fast. There's more space, and he's tremendous at it. It's just him holding the ball up. He's just Jota's ability is goal scoring, poaching, the fox in the box sort of player. That's not Bobby, as I said earlier in this video. Bobby is the technical player, likes to hold on to the ball. He can turn, he can twist, he can see players around him, he can join players into the game, he can give the balls to midfield, out wide. You know, that's Bobby's play, and because of that, him being there, holding it up, everyone squeezed up the pitch. Hendo was aggressive in midfield. Because Henderson was aggressive in midfield, Inter Milan didn't start. Inter Milan never really knocked the ball about after the hour mark. They weren't even getting in behind us much anymore either, because Endo was aggressive, Keita was aggressive, and Bobby's hold-up play, it just worked beautifully. And then Diaz was a fantastic outlet on the left-hand side with his pace and trickery. So, yeah, the substitutions were first class by Klopp. They're probably Klopp's best substitutions, I would say, in a long time. Because he had the ability to look behind him and say, I have got game changers that can come on. You know, in Milan's substitutions did nothing. All Inter Milan substitutions did was put the average age of their side up. I mean, I saw some old men coming on that pitch. That's all their substitutions did. Look, I know a lot of people said Inter Milan got in a few times. They did get in a few times, but I think when you look at it again, watch it again, Liverpool played that high line. Liverpool weren't actually too worried about Martinez and Dzeko going in behind them, because they ain't got the pace. They haven't got the pace to get away from Konate and Van Dijk. And you saw that with Dzeko when he thought he got through, and Van Dijk just put a 10-yard sprint on and got in front of him. It was easy. It was bread and butter. I think Liverpool weren't too worried about this Inter Milan team getting in behind them. And that's why I said it's a tie over. I mean, Steve said yes last night. This is tie over. There is nowhere Inter Milan are scoring 3 goals at Anfield. They haven't got any strikers that can get in behind and get away from Van Dijk or Konate. There's just none. I mean, Martinez, I always hear massive things about this kid. I always hear Lautaro Martinez is the next big thing, and next this, next that. Every time I see Martinez play for his country or for Inter Milan, he's always average. I just don't understand the big thing with Martinez. I don't understand why people just love him and Liverpool should be buying Martinez and all this sort of stuff. He's the next big thing. Watch Man City get him and he's going to cause havoc. Is it? Is he? Because he don't look great to me. Hi, Chris Fella. Hope you're well, my man. My review is to the game's up. Like, there you go. Look, there you go. Chris has done a pre-recorded video, guys, for his review. So when we're done here, guys, go and check out Chris's review. He's trying to reach 100 subs, so guys, go and help him out if you possibly can. I watched it again today, and Inter Milan, look, they played well. They had some scary moments, I've got to admit. I mean, they hit the bar. Hakan Çalhanoğlu, he hit the bar. I think Lautaro Martinez, there was a bit when the only time they really got in, which was scary, I think it was Lautaro Martinez's cross. I think Perisic's cross at Lautaro Martinez just missed with his header. I think that's the only real time they got in. Perisic in that first half of Inter Milan was their best player. He was causing Trent all kinds of problems. Trent had an awful game yesterday. It was actually the worst game I've seen Trent play in a long time, defensively and attacking wise. Robbo and Trent couldn't get forward that much yesterday because Inter Milan's wing backs were pushing our fullbacks back. You know, Dumfries and Perisic were really pushing Trent and Robbo back, especially for that first hour. But as soon as I said the substitutions changed, Bobby keeping hold of the ball, we started to squeeze up the pitch. And then you saw Trent getting more advanced. I mean, there was a time when I think we're playing some nice football in and around the box, and Trent puts a lovely little pass into Diaz. Diaz takes one touch and then shoots, and it's saved. Got blocked down. But he really should have just taken a shot first time, and the defender wouldn't have had the chance to block it. He just gave the defender a little bit of chance to get a blocking with his having a touch first. But that's because we were pressing higher up the pitch. So Trent and Robbo able to get further up the field. But that first hour, Dumfries and Perisic were doing a great job pushing our fullbacks back. Perisic, I thought, had a great game. I thought Perisic was doing really well. He still, I mean, Perisic's got to be, 32 now? Surely he's got to be that. But he still looks a good player. I thought he was Inter Milan's best player yesterday. But I said, this Martinez, who everyone raves about, don't know why. Really don't know why. Doesn't show me much. He can't get in behind. He likes ball to feet. I suppose if you go compare him to, you go compare him to Bobby, I suppose. If you go compare him to strikers we got, you probably go to say Bobby's the most comparable. But he doesn't get in behind. He's got no pace. And I didn't see anything of him yesterday that made me think, God, this Martinez, they're right. We need to, we need to watch out for him. Didn't see it. As I said, professional performance likely to result at a tough place that go up the Reds. Yeah, exactly. Perisic was causing Trent problems. Oh, he was causing them all day, my man, all day. Fact, Tottenham want Martinez. That needs all that needs to be said. Yeah, I just don't. I don't know if I'm the only one, guys. You might rate him. I don't know, but I've been hearing people talk about this kid now for 2 years, and every time I've watched him, I don't understand what people are going on about. I don't. There's a reason Chelsea picked Lukaku instead of Martinez when they needed a striker. Look, I don't think either of them would have worked at the end of the day. Now we're looking at Lukaku, who's terrible with his Timberland football boots. But there's a reason. Martinez ain't that. And Martinez might have looked good with Lukaku because Lukaku holds the ball up and they can play off each other. But yeah, he won. It just didn't go to me. I didn't look at Martinez and go and think, yeah, that's the next big, that's the next big star there. Like your Haalands and your Mbappe's. I was like, that kid's going to be a star. He's scarily good. Didn't see it. He's a threat, but not that much of a threat. Yeah, exactly. No, I'm not saying he's a bad player. He's a good footballer. He's a technically good footballer. Gifted little footballer. But the way people go on about him is like, I remember people, I watched loads of YouTube channels around this community, people in their thousands always talking like, oh, Liverpool should be in for Martinez. I don't know why we're not in for Martinez. He'd be perfect for us as a number 9 and all this. And I'm like, do you actually watch him? Or are you just all FIFA virgins? Because I swear at the end of the day, people just play FIFA, see their scorecard, their rating card, and go, this man's a G. This man's great. And they don't actually watch him. He plays for Inter Milan. All these people are talking these players up all the time. They don't actually watch them. And the times they do watch them, they might have been decent, or they look at YouTube clips and they look quite cool because YouTube clips are never heavily edited. It's just, I didn't think it was much. And Liverpool didn't think it was much. Or they wouldn't just played the high line all match. They didn't think that Dzeko and Martinez were a threat to running behind them. And they were right. They never running behind us once. They never worked the goalkeeper once. Alisson was never worked. And that's it. Let's talk about this at the end of the day. Inter Milan are the Italian champions, and they're at home under almost a full crowd in a Champions League game and they never worked our goalkeeper once. Once. And I'm meant to be worried about players like, this Martinez everyone keeps raving on about. Checo's 37, for goodness sake. He's not going to run him behind. And the only time he did run him behind, Van Dijk put just a little bit of a sprint on, not a massive sprint, caught up to him, got the ball, we carried on. Van Dijk glided through that match last night. I don't think him and Kanate even got a sweat on. I really don't. They glided through that game, absolutely glided through that game. They were far too... As I said, Liverpool didn't get out of second gear. Did we play well last night? No. Did we need to play well to win last night? No. No. We won 2-0 at the San Siro in the round of 16 Champions League tie against the Italian champions, 2-0 without playing well. Inter Milan, for me, played the best they could and they had no shots on target. Why am I worried? What Liverpool and Manchester City are the two best teams in world football at the moment. And people might not like to hear that, but Manchester City and Liverpool Football Club are the two best teams in world football at the moment. You look at Bayern Munich last night, they drew 1-1 with Salzburg, and that was a 91st minute injury time equaliser from Koeman. Yeah? I've been saying this about Bayern Munich. Everyone keeps going on about Bayern Munich because they've got these players in their team and all that. Do they actually watch Bayern Munich play? They lost 4-1 and 4-2 to Bochum the other day. They've lost some weird games this season. The games they have lost, they've lost heavily as well. Lost heavily. And then they draw. They'll probably go through against Salzburg now because they got the equaliser and I don't think Bayern will lose at home. But, it's Salzburg. I mean, don't come at me your Bayern Munich stuff. Liverpool and Manchester City are the two best football clubs in the world. Chelsea, fantastic club as well. Just behind, I would say, But, you look at the league. Man City and Liverpool far. I'd say Man City are the best club side in the world at the moment. You've got to tell you the truth, but I don't think Liverpool are far behind them. Man City and Liverpool are too good for everyone else in this competition. And I've been saying it for time. If they don't get drawn together in the quarters or the semis, Man City, Liverpool will be the Champions League final. I'm telling you guys, if they don't get drawn together. Because for me, these two teams are just too good. Let's look who's left in the draw, guys. You've got your Benficas, your Ajaxes, your Salzburgs, your Bayern Munichs, your Villarreals, PSG or Madrid, one of them. Who are we meant to be fearful of? Chelsea. Who are we meant to be fearful of? Because I'll tell you what, as long as we don't draw an English team, because I don't want to really draw an English team, because I think the English teams can beat each other, and I think that's about the only ones. If we don't draw an English team, if we don't draw City and Chelsea, I think we get to this final relatively easy. I really do. Look, PSG and Madrid on the other night, you saw my review of that game. My review's up, guys. If you want to go and check it out, go and check it out. Real Madrid are crap. All right? Real Madrid are a dead team. Their midfield is a tremendous threesome there. That threesome of that midfield is a great midfield. It's been together for 8 years. 8 years, guys. Liverpool fans are starting to get breaking down that, our strike force has been together 5 years and everyone's saying that's long enough now. We need to change it up. Their midfield has been a combination for 8 years. And it's looking old now. I know Toni Kroos is only 32. It's not that old. I think Modric is like 35. And Casemiro must be in his 30s as well. But nothing against the footballers. They're tremendous footballers. Toni Kroos, one of my favourite midfielders ever. He's an absolute G in that midfield. And he still is. But together as a threesome against PSG, for me, they looked old. They looked like an old midfield against PSG for me, Real Madrid did. And I thought PSG didn't do anything really spectacular to win that game either. I know it was a great Mbappe goal, but they're defending for it. They just let Mbappe walk into the box. If PSG had a bit more about them going forward in that game, You know, they moved the ball so slowly and their attacks were so slow. They used a bit more zip in their game. They would have won that 3 or 4-0 comfortably. So don't give me this Madrid bollocks here. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear this Madrid rubbish. You know, they're not the team they were. Yes, it's Real Madrid. They have the biggest name value out of any club in world football. Granted. But no, don't come at me with this Real Madrid stuff at the moment. Liverpool and Man City, for me, their two sides are far superior at the moment in all aspects of the pitch. Don't just look at Madrid's midfield three because they're a tremendous threesome in midfield. They are. But they're looking old now. All round the pitch, Liverpool and Man City for me are far better. Far better. I didn't know Dzeko was 32. I thought he was 32 or something. No, I think he's around 37, mate. Something like that. I don't think he's as young as 32. I mean, Dzeko's been going for like forever. I think he's I think he's in his mid-30s. I couldn't bear Liverpool City final. It would be like biting my nails 90 minutes. I couldn't bear it either, but I just don't see. An English side is definitely winning the Champions League. I think we can all admit that, yeah? I think we can all admit, unless PSG get this past the Real Madrid tie, unless PSG have a madness and start getting their act together, PSG is the only other side. If PSG don't get their act together, you know, they could easily go out of Real Madrid. I mean, it was only 1-0. You know, going back to Madrid, they could easily go out of that competition. But I think Ancelotti's still a bit too defensively set as a football manager. Plus, Real Madrid are not having it all their own way in La Liga at the moment. They have had most of the season. They've had a big gap. But that gap's now down to 4 points, with Sevilla just behind them. So they're not having it their whole way now. And I think it's all coming on top of them a little bit. So, yeah, I don't PSG are the only, apart from Liverpool, Man City and Chelsea, PSG for me are the only other team that can possibly win this cup. And I say Bayern Munich, fantastic team, world-class football team of the past. But look at the defeats they've had this season. They're always quite heavy defeats. And, you know, they're not hard to score against either anymore. They used to be hard to score against. Yes, they got Lewandowski up front and they got some blinding wingers and stuff like that. But some of their players are getting on a bit. Definitely an English team will win, I think, to be honest. Yeah, definitely. Subs changed the game. Yeah, they did, mate. I was speaking about that earlier in the video, Chris. Our subs completely changed the game. But Klopp, for one of the first times in his role as manager of Liverpool, looked behind him on the bench and saw quality. The players that came off the pitch to the players that came on the pitch at that substitution time, there was no quality change. The players that came on, were just as good as the players that came off. So there was no real quality change there. And that's why we could step up our game. Yeah, smash the like button, like Kai says, my man, smash the like button. That's why we could, our game stepped up a gear, because we had as much quality still on the pitch, but fresher legs. I'm actually being honest. We are the biggest threat, of course. Manchester City are up there as well with their squad, but City don't know how to win Champions League yet. Obviously, they will at some point. Yeah, that's the thing. This is the thing for PSG and Manchester City. They don't know what it takes to win the Champions League. The reason I will say Man City are the biggest threat, like you say, Chris, and probably the favourites, because they got to a final. Once you get to a final, you've got to get to that final. You don't always, it's very rare that you win the final and your maiden final, your debut final in Champions League. It's very rare that you win that. You usually lose that and then come back again, but you get that experience. So that's the only thing I will say, like you're saying, Chris, with Man City. That's their biggest threat. It's definitely Man City. But I don't really want Manchester City in the final. But when I look at the whole Champions League form teams in the Champions League, I can't see past them two teams unless there is an absolute slip up in any of the games. So let's have a look here. I've got the fixtures up for the Champions League. So let's have a quick look. Let's have a look what teams are left. These are the teams. Let me get this up for you guys. So, obviously, these are the fixtures being played so far, and the fixtures due to be played next week. So, obviously, guys, you can see that. PSG won, obviously, 1-0 against Real Madrid. Sporting got absolutely smashed 5-0. And that's another thing. Sporting shouldn't even be in the Champions. This is the best club competition in the world. There's no better club competition than Champions League in world football. And teams are getting beaten 5-0 in the last 16 of that. That shouldn't be happening. Sporting are awful. Man City, for me, had the easiest draw. I know Chelsea got Lille, but I think Lille will put up more of a fight against Chelsea than Sporting. Portuguese sides in the Champions League, unless they're playing a very inferior opposition, are just not good enough now. Obviously, I think our tie against Inter was much harder than Man City's tie against Sporting Lisbon. We won that 2-0. And then you look at the other games, Chelsea-Lille. Look, Chelsea should win that game, especially when they got Lille twice in both draws. How they managed that, I don't know. Not rigged at all. But yeah, so Chelsea should get past Lille. But you know what, Chelsea can fall asleep. And, Lille could cause a little bit of an upset there. I don't think they will. I think Chelsea will win comfortably. But you just don't know there. And then you look at the teams left. Juventus and Villarreal. Is anyone really worried about Juventus and Villarreal? This ain't the Juventus of 5 or 10 years ago, guys. This is Juventus now. The Juventus that are struggling. It's the Juventus now. I'm not really worried. Benfica, Ajax, one of them are going to go through. Is anyone sitting here actually worried about Benfica and Ajax? Because I'm not. Ajax are a decent side. Young, decent side, got some good players, but they play against a certain opposition that makes them look fantastic. The Dutch league, come on. If Ajax draw a Man City, Chelsea, a Liverpool, or a PSG, then they're not going to win them games. And then Atletico Man United. Does anyone actually fear Atletico Man United? No. I think Atletico will go through in that tie, because this Manchester United team just not great enough. I don't think over 2 legs, Man United will not concede goals to Atletico Madrid. I think they can score goals, but over 2 legs, I just don't see this Man United defence not conceding goals to Atletico Madrid. I know Atletico Madrid are not in great form at the moment. I think they're 5th in La Liga, but you don't see Man United. You see Man United conceding goals in that game. And then the teams left. I mean, who there's worried about? Like, you can have a possible quarter-final. Let's go through it. Say PSG go through. City go through. Say Bayern go through. Liverpool go through. Chelsea go through. Say Juventus. Yeah. Atletico, and then say Ajax. They're the last 8. Who there's really good enough to beat this Liverpool and Man City teams at this moment in time? For me, who's good enough to beat these Liverpool and Man City teams? If Ajax, say Atletico Madrid, Chelsea, Juventus, or Bayern Munich come up against Liverpool, Man City over 2 legs, I fancy Liverpool, Man City over 2 legs against all them teams. Chelsea will probably be the hardest one, I would say, and maybe PSG. But other than that, biggest threats to us are City and Bayern Munich, in my opinion. But even Bayern Munich don't look great. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Bayern Munich get a 1-1 draw away to Salzburg, and that was a 91st minute equaliser by Koeman. Is it Koeman? Got the goal. Coleman. Is it Coleman or Koeman? I don't know how you pronounce it. That's Coleman, ain't it? Coleman. Yeah, that's if that's you're not doing that, are you, at Anfield? What's your semi-finalist, Jamie? Well, let's have a look at this. I think Liverpool are through. Man City are through to the quarters. They're the 2 definite ones through there so far. I think Ajax will beat Benfica, and I think Juventus will beat Villarreal, and I think Atletico Madrid will beat Man United. Cheers, Luca. How are you, my man? Hope you're good. Thank you. Great win for you. Yeah, it was a good win last night, Luca. Guys, Luca is an Arsenal fan, but he's a good fella. Go and check out his channel. He's a good bloke. All depends on the draw. Yeah, it does, Chris. That's the thing. Like, if we draw Man City in the quarterfinals, then it's going to be really tough, you know. If all the English clubs go through, I mean, if all 4 English clubs go through, then obviously one of them you would thought will go draw each other in the quarterfinal draw. There's 8 teams and there's 4 English clubs. If they all go through, then in the quarterfinal, one of them's going to be drawn against each other, you would have thought. Very unlikely they're all going to stay separate. So I just don't see Man United going through. I think Chelsea will go through, Liverpool will go through, and City will go through. 3 clubs, English clubs in the quarterfinal. Is a high possibility that one of them will get drawn against each other. Hopefully not. Remember, the quarterfinal and semi-final draws at the same time, so you know your path to the final. I'm thinking Ajax, Atletico Madrid. So Ajax, Liverpool, right? PSG, Man City, Liverpool, and Chelsea will be the semi-final if they don't get drawn against each other in the quarters. That'd be my semi-finals. Them 4 teams there. If they don't get drawn against each other in the quarters, and if Chelsea get through Lille and PSG get through Man United, that'd be my semi-finals. But looking at it, City, Liverpool, PSG, and Bayern for me. Yeah, I mean that could be it as well. As long as they, that's what I'm saying. Does everyone agree? It does look like if they don't get drawn against each other, it does look like it's going to be a Liverpool City final. I'm just looking for all the fixtures that could possibly happen, like Chris has put up there: City, Liverpool, PSG, Bayern for me. If Liverpool and City get matched with PSG and Bayern, Liverpool and City are winning them games over 2 legs. I just don't. I'd rather have Bayern out of the 2 if I had to choose. Let City have PSG. I'd have Bayern over the 2. PSG have just the added bit of more threat, I think. It's just, I'm looking at the teams that are left, guys, and I'm thinking, who is actually there that is strong enough, powerful enough to get past this Liverpool and City team at the moment? And this is not me making, because we're a Liverpool channel, we're being super biased here or anything like that. We're actually being quite logical and looking at it. And people that don't think Liverpool are probably the second best team in the world at the moment are living under a rock, or just don't want to admit it because they're rival fans. You know, Liverpool will be running away with this league, this Premier League, if Man City wasn't in it. You know, and then you look over in Europe, you know, who's there that's actually better than City and Liverpool right now? Who can you actually go, you know, they are better? Are Real Madrid better than City and Liverpool right now? No. Are PSG? No. Are Bayern? No. You know, who else is there? You know, the Italian clubs definitely ain't. Liverpool have just beaten both Milan teams in the same season. You know, we're beating both Milan sides in the same competition this season alone. You know, it's that's what I'm looking at right there. Who is actually going to be Chelsea for me? Because you never know with Chelsea. I think it'll be that final, but I don't want it to be. Luca, Chris, can you unblock me? That's for you two to figure yourselves out on. I think Bayern could hurt City, maybe. Anik, you're my man, Almighty Blues FC. Anik, how you doing, fella? Hope you're good. Just looking at the Champions League here. So obviously, Anik, you're a big Chelsea fan. We're just looking at the teams that are left in this Champions League. And obviously, this is a Liverpool channel, so we are a bit biased, but I don't think it's a shout to say that Manchester City and Liverpool are at the moment the 2 best clubs in the world. I look around, Chelsea, I think, I was listening to TalkSport last night and Jason Cundy was saying that, you know, Liverpool, Man City are the 2 best. You know, Chelsea are just behind. You know, I know Chelsea just won the World Club Championships and Champions League and the European Champions and all that and everything granted. But I just think Liverpool and City are just a step ahead at this moment in time. And as I say, looking around Europe, at the top teams around Europe, Real Madrid, they're not better. PSG, they're not better. And Liverpool have just beaten both Milan teams in Italy. So we can, in the same season, in the same competition. So we can rule that out as well. So, you know, it's tough to see past them. The more I look at this, I'm just thinking it will be a Liverpool Man City final. Jamie, I would take PSG over Bayern, to be honest. Yeah, maybe. They're the only other two teams. PSG and maybe Bayern. If PSG get past Madrid, they should do. Look, PSG dominated, right? It was a boring game, the Real Madrid PSG game. It was completely boring. It was 2 hours of my life I'm never going to get back. But PSG completely dominated Real Madrid in that game, didn't they? And Mbappe must be looking at it as well, thinking, Mbappe must be going, do I really want to go to Real Madrid? Because PSG are far better. Do I really want to go to Real Madrid? Because this Real Madrid team, I looked at their squad in that game. They're all getting on. They have got to replace Modric, Casemiro, and Kroos soon. You know, Modric, I think, 35, and I think Casemiro and Kroos are 32, 33. They're going to need replacing soon. You can't keep relying on them. They're going to need to be replaced. Benzema, I think he's in his 30s now. You know, he's not going, he's having a good season, but he's going to need to be replacing. You know, their defence is pretty decent, but you expect that under a Carlo Ancelotti team, they're going to be defensively good. This PSG team should have smashed this Real Madrid team. It should have been a 3 or 4-0 game because PSG was just so slow in their attack. They had more zip about them, a bit more purpose about them, and believed in themselves a bit more. They would have beaten that Real Madrid team comfortably. Ironic enough, I predict Liverpool to beat Man City in the Champions League final at the start of the season. There you go, Chris. I've been saying it since the start of the season, City-Liverpool final. All these people that writ off Liverpool before the season started now must be looking at themselves thinking, what have we done? I remember going on the football terrace at the beginning of the season. People predicted Liverpool to finish 5th outside the top 4. Some people predicted Arsenal to finish third in the league. People predicted it's going to be between the two Manchester clubs, and then it's going to be Arsenal and Chelsea for top 4. And then Liverpool go just finish 5th outside the top 4. People actually said this at the beginning of the season because they all went to last season and gone, and that's their barometer. Their barometer was last season, in COVID season, the worst season of football we've ever watched as fans. Last season was horrible. No fans for the whole season, apart from the odd game when there's a couple of thousand people in. Apart from that, a whole season had 0 fans. The only reason Man City won the league last season is because they were most consistent. And I think they finished on 84 points or something like that, or 81 points. Their point tally was really low. Liverpool and Man City are going to blow that points tally away this season. And the points tally was really low. They won because they're just the most consistent. Liverpool had all their issues last season with injuries, no fans in. And I think everyone last season got a bit like, oh, that's the barometer. Liverpool are gone. Liverpool are done. Look at United. They finished second. United's greatest ever season in 10 years. They finished second. 19 points behind Man City, who weren't the Man City they are today. You know what I mean? It does my head in. Whoever said that, go on that clickbait channel called Football Terrorists. They say it get clickbait. They say, but Chris, you are right, but some of them believe it as well. Some of them believe what they're saying on that program, and it's not just that. A lot of neutral football, channels, like the Terrace and neutral football channel, that's people on and that talk about had Liverpool finishing 5th. They took that barometer last season, and thought, yeah, that's it. Liverpool not going to finish in the top 4. The squad ain't good enough, and all this. What are you chatting about? Good afternoon, Mr. Conway. How are you, John? Hope you're good, my man. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, and I think this season everyone's like, oh, yeah, this Liverpool team are still really good. Because everyone thought, Klopp's run this Liverpool team into the ground now. This Liverpool team's been run into the ground under Jurgen Klopp, and it's only going to go backwards for Liverpool from now on. You know, as it, you look at the players we're bringing in, and it's not running to the ground. Liverpool got a lot of. Liverpool are rebuilding without no one noticing. I think no one's noticed it. Liverpool's rebuild is already starting. No one's taking any notice of it. Kanate, 22. Jota, 25. Diaz, 25. Curtis Jones, 21. Harvey Elliott, 18. Trent's only 22. You know, Joe Gomez is only 24. Kelleher, great defense goalkeeper. Could, if he stays at the club, could be exceptional. You know, we got the rebuild is starting in and around the club, but no one's taken any notice of it so far because they don't want to. But the rebuild is starting. They only predicted us finishing first because it was a huge threat and they were scared. Yeah, more than likely. But a lot of people predicted Arsenal finishing the top four this year. Third, shall I add, 2 places above Liverpool. Where did that come from? Good, thank you, Jamie. How are you? Great win last night in Liverpool. Oh, it was a great win, John. That's what I was saying earlier today. Earlier in this video, mate. It was a comfortable win at the end of the day. And I watched it live. It looked like Inter Milan had a lot of chances and all that. But when you watch it back after knowing the result, and you watched it back, watch it back with a clear head, Liverpool didn't get out of second gear last night. Did not get out of second gear and won 2-0 against the Italian champions. And we've beaten both Milan sides in Europe. And guys, we have won every single game in the Champions League this season that we played. We obviously won all 6 games in the group, and then we won last night. 7 games in a row. 7 games in a row. And we were in the group of death, don't forget, guys. No one gave us a chance. We was in the group of death. Yeah, remember that last year. Yeah, that's it. It was an Arsenal fan said Arsenal. Said Liverpool not getting top 4 on terrace. I'm saying nothing to say nicely. Yeah, Jessica. Yeah, look, people. I think I'm not going to have a go at her. She's a nice lady and all that. Or she's a nice lady and she does know her stuff. But I don't know what rival fans' problems is with Liverpool. I really don't. Arsenal fans for you, Jamie. Exactly. I really don't understand what rival fans' problems with Liverpool is. I mean, they go on about that. We go on about history all the time and we're this and that. That's because, oh yeah, it was others as well. Oh, I know. I don't get it. Look, rival fans don't like Liverpool because we go on about our history. We talk about all our history in our club and what we've done. And we are European royalty. We've won 6 Champions Leagues. We've got to 8 finals. We've lost 2 of them finals. And we've won, 8 finals. Yeah, we've been to 8 finals, obviously winning 6 of them. You know, we're European royalty, and they don't like it. They don't like that we go on about it. But that's because we can. What's wrong going on about it? What's wrong with saying we've got 19 league titles, 6 Champions Leagues? We've got we're the most honoured club in English football, most trophies won in English football. What's wrong with saying that? Because you're not, so we're not allowed to talk about it? Is that the problem? And Man City fans who go on about, oh, we don't want to win the Champions League, we just want to win the league. The league's the important thing. Winning the league every year is better than winning the Champions League. That's because you've not won it yet. Once Manchester City win the Champions League, once Manchester City win this Champions League, their fans will realise what it means. They will realise what winning the Champions League means because Man City can never join the likes of Liverpool, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Ajax, AC Milan and Bayern Munich. They can never reach that legacy as a club unless they start winning the European Cup. They have to start winning the European Cup. It's not good enough just winning the league every year. You know, Juventus used to win the league every year. AC Milan used to win the league every year. Liverpool used to win the league every year. You know, all these teams, Barcelona and Real Madrid used to win the league every year, but their heritage is by winning the European Cup. That's where their heritage is. You know, we all talk about Real Madrid, 13 European titles. 13. Ridiculous. Never probably will be beaten. Biggest club side probably ever in football. And that ain't just because they won the Spanish league every year. It's because the European heritage, it's massive. It's huge to these. And Man City fans just sit there going, oh, we don't want to win the European Cup. We don't like UEFA because UEFA treat us horribly because we cheat and got away with it. And UEFA, and it's like, no, grow up. You just don't know what it is to win. Once you won the European title, once Man City have won the European title, and they've got that in their honours list to go with everything else, then they will know how it feels. Till you've won it, you don't know how it feels. And what annoys me with Man City fans, do they think their owner is spending all this money just for them to keep winning leagues? Pellegrini won the league with Manchester City. He's a terrible manager. You know, Roberto Mancini won the league with Manchester City. No, he's not a terrible manager. He's a good manager. You know, people have won FA Cups and league titles with Manchester City because of the money and squad they've got. They've not gave all this money to get Pep into Manchester City just to win the league every year. Yes, they want to win the league every year. Of course they do. But they want Champions League trophies because European heritage on your club is massive. Absolutely giant. Do you think Real Madrid, Liverpool, the Ajaxes and the AC Milans of this world and the Bayern Munichs will be the ginormous world star clubs they are today if they only just won their leagues every season and didn't win a European Cup? Of course they wouldn't. Of course they wouldn't. It's a stupid statement I hear from Man City fans all the time. European heritage is massive in football. That's why we didn't want the Super League. We want European football. It's massive. As I said, Fat Pellegrini won a Premier League title. People will be thinking maybe that happened on FIFA, with all due respect to Pellegrini. Yeah, I mean, certainly Pellegrini's not a great manager. He's not a fantastic manager, but he managed to get that team over the line and win a title against us. I mean, we fell away. We should have really won it that season, if you ask me. But we fell away and City won it. Mancini, City won their first title under Mancini, and Mancini is a decent manager, to be fair. But Pep is a world-class manager. Pep is a world-class manager. Yes, he's a checkbook manager. I don't care what anyone says. He is a checkbook manager. Simon Jordan got it spot on TalkSport when he compared him and Klopp with the amount of money Pep has spent to points won is 3 times the money Klopp has spent on points won. So you reverse that, Klopp would be doing the same as Pep at City right now, winning all these titles and trophies. Would Pep Guardiola have built this Liverpool team that Klopp came into with Emre Cans and your Lucas Leivers and your Benteke's and your Barinis and Origi's your main striker and, Joe Allen and Saka and Sacco, would Pep Guardiola have come into that Liverpool team then and guided them to where we are now like Klopp has? No, he wouldn't have. He's a checkbook manager, but that still doesn't mean he's not a world-class manager, because to spend all that money and have the squad you got and get them to play like the way they do, and you never hear them complaining and moaning, and to keep the harmony in that team, you have to be a world-class manager. Have to be. But he's still a checkbook manager at the same time. There's no problem with it. Defence cost us a title that season. Yep, it did. It did. Saka and was it Saka and Skirtle, weren't it? Nathaniel Klein and was it Colo Toure and that defence was horrible that season. Yeah, they still have to perform on the pitch despite the checkbook. Exactly, that's what I'm just saying. That's what I'm saying, Chris. He's a world-class manager. You have that squad of 24 players, Man City do, to keep them all happy, motivated, and playing the way they do. You have to be a world-class manager. But Jurgen Klopp never really had a checkbook. Look at the teams he's produced. Yeah, the Skirtle and Sacco show. Jesus. I mean, Jurgen Klopp almost left Sacco at Alcatraz, didn't he? He was upset with him that time. So Sacco on pre-season tour in America, weren't it? He got up late And then the team was already at Alcatraz. He got up late, met them there, and then messed about all day and was goofing around. And Klopp got upset with it. And Klopp almost left him at Alcatraz, and they almost all left and left him behind. Yeah, Sacco was all right. He was just a bit of a div, wasn't he? Just a bit of a div. He weren't good for morale in the changing room. That's why Klopp let him go. It's just his morale in the changing room weren't good enough. Yeah, Sacco should be dancing on ice the way he defended for us, acting like he was on ice skates. Yeah. He never looked comfortable in the ball, did he? It's like his legs would be like. It was weird. But guys, this is as I say, Liverpool on making it 2-0 at Inter Milan, guys. It was a great victory last night. We talked about it loads. Let's have a look at the stats. I ain't gone into the stats yet. We've been chatting away, guys, and I forgot to look at the stats. So let me get the stats up for you guys. Let me share this. Yeah, Skirtle weren't too bad, Chris. Skirtle weren't too bad. It's just that he's nowhere near the level we got now, is he? You know, the level of defenders we got at the club now are just far, far superior. But he did what he needed to do. Let's have a look here. All right. So these are the stats from last night's game, guys. Hopefully you can see this okay. So we had all the possession, not all the possession, but we had the possession, 53% of possession. You know, especially away to Inter Milan, the Italian champions, let's not forget. These are no pushovers, they're the Italian champions. And we went there, had more possessions, more shots. We had 13 to their 9, 2 on targets, which are the goals. They had none on target. They had 7 off target, we had 8 off target. We had 3 shots blocked, they had 2. We had 81.2 of the passing, they had 79%. We had 1 clear-cut chance, they had 0. Now, giving them 0 clear-cut chances there might be a bit harsh because Changalangu did hit the crossbar. You know, if he was a couple of inches lower, he's scoring. So that might be a bit harsh, but it's counted as an off-target shot and an on-target shot. And then obviously Mane, this is one thing I didn't bring up. Mane should have scored with his header from the Trent corner. He had no one was marking him. It was a free header. He won the ball cleanly, and he should have scored. He put it over the bar. Should have scored. And, you know, we scored then. We go on to win this game well comfortably. And then obviously he had his bicycle kick as well. You know, we did have our chances. You know, you go back and look at the game, guys. We had more chances than probably remembered. Especially, like, I didn't remember. No, I watched it again this morning. It was like, my word, we should have been goals up. Aerial duels. They won the aerial duels, but they have got Jacko up front. And there's the form guide. So, yeah, Inter ain't in the best form anyway. And obviously Liverpool are in great form at the moment. And that high line that Danny Murphy spoke about doesn't work. Did you guys hear this? Apparently Liverpool's high line doesn't work. That's what Danny Murphy said on TalkSport. Our high line doesn't work. Don't work, guys, apparently. This is our last few results, guys. 2-0, no goals conceded. 1-0, no goal conceded. 2-0, no goal conceded. Then a 3-1, a 3-1, and a 2-0. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In our last 6 games, guys, we've only conceded 2 goals. Now 1 each in 2 games. But our high line don't work, guys. It does my head in. These people shouldn't be allowed to talk without doing their research. Everyone goes on about the chances Burnley had against Liverpool. Go back and watch all them chances. All of them were offside because the high line did its job. Yeah, that's why it worked. You know, if it didn't work, we'd be conceding every single week. Yeah, the reason we can afford to play a back line that high is because Van Dijk, Matip, who's quicker than people think, Kanate, who's a demon on the pitch, Trent and Robbo are all quick. They're all quick, so if they need to get back, they can get back. As we saw against Inter Milan last night when Dzeko was clean through, Van Dijk put a little 10-yard sprint on, you know, didn't go full speed, and got the ball with ease. The reason we play a high line is because we're very good at it. We're good at catching. Look at the amount. We must catch more people offside than any team in the Premier League. Sure, the amount of people we catch offside every single week, and they say that the high line don't work. All this nonsense. High line don't work. Well, 2 goals conceded in 6 games, and we ain't conceded a goal in 3 games now. But the high line don't work. This is my problem with people in the media. I swear they just go on for clicks and likes. They don't do their research. Do your research. Yes, is our defence solid? Not really. We don't play that defensive kind of game. We play one-on-one defending. We do give chances to the opposition because that's the way we like to play. We like to play on the front foot from the goalkeeper to the attackers. We play on the front foot. So, yeah, we play one-on-one defending. But the reason we can play one-on-one defending, one, we got the best centre-back in world football in Virgil van Dijk, still the best centre-back in world football, and he's now getting back to 100%, so everyone's doomed. Kanate is as good a young defender I've seen around at 22. The man's a beast. He's got power and pace. Sometimes he does watch a little bit. Hopefully that'll get knocked out of him. And he's going to be a supreme defender. Matip, one of the most underrated centre-backs in European football. So underrated. Tremendous centre-backs. Joe Gomez, who we all forgotten about, is a great defender. That is the reason we can play the way we play, one-on-one football, because we have them defenders. You tell Inter Milan's back three yesterday to play one-on-one football, one-on-one defending like Liverpool do. They would have got battered 8-0 last night if they did that. The high line don't work. It makes me laugh. Do your research. It doesn't work. So how did we win Champions League? Yeah, exactly. We've been playing the high line for about 3 years now, 4 years. It's just, it does my head in. Look, we play one-on-one defending, and we don't defend as a unit like a Chelsea would or a Man City do, that narrow back four and they all close in and, we don't defend like that. No, we play one-on-one. We play wide. We play high, and it works for us. It works. How many, Jamie, when he's on form, Gomez is the best English centre-back. Look, before Gomez's injuries, when it was him and Van Dijk at the back for Liverpool, I mean, that season we didn't win the league. We lost the league by 1 point. The Man City, we only conceded 22 goals that season, and that was mostly Gomez and Van Dijk at the back. When Gomez, then he was the best English centre-back, but Gomez's issues, his injuries. These injuries are a real problem for him, and it's coming a bad problem for him now because I can't see how he gets back in his team, really. I really can't. But yeah, this highlight, I go and ask Man City to defend how Liverpool defend. Play one-on-one defending and play that high line. See how good Ruben Diaz is playing one-on-one defending like Virgil van Dijk does, at Liverpool. Let's see how good he really is. Because I'll tell you what, Pep wouldn't want to do it because he'll concede a lot of goals. It just does my head in. People don't do their own work. And go on about high line. Yes, that high line scares us Liverpool fans sometimes because people do get in behind. But then we forget, we got Van Dijk and Kanate and Matip at the back. They'll get back. And they do. It just, it does my head in, guys. It does my head in. All right, guys, before we finish up here, we're going to do player ratings, okay? So, guys, get in the chat. Give me your player ratings, guys. Let me know who you think was man of the match. And we'll go through it now. Right, player ratings, guys. Alisson didn't have a jot to do last night, so I'm going to give him 6. He didn't have nothing to do last night. He didn't even have to make one save. He come out for all the corners very well and caught the ball nicely and started cat attacks off for us. But other than that, he didn't have to do anything last night. Not a save to make. So he gets a 6. Trent was poor last night and give him Trent a 6. I thought Trent was poor last night. It's one of the poorest games I've seen from Trent. I thought Trent was really, really poor last night. He did have a few nice passes. This one go give him a 6 and not a 5. But he was poor last night. Kanate was a beast. He got an 8. Absolute beast mode last night, Kanate. The only time Kanate, he had one little moment, and I think that was when it was like the first few minutes of the game, and he was ball watching a little bit, and he never closed down Perisic quick enough. Never, and that's the reason I'm just dropping him from a 9 to an 8. But otherwise, he had a superb game. So did this man, Mr. Virgil van Dijk. It's hard to give them 9s because they didn't have a lot to do defensively for me. So I'm a bit harsh. I mean, Kai is much nicer than I am. 7 from Christopher Ali. He's much nicer than I am. But the only reason I'm giving 8s for the 2 centre backs, they didn't have a lot to do. And when they did do it, they did it well and they did it superbly. But they weren't under the cosh enough. Both of them, though. But Van Dijk, guys, this man is back now. There's no of this now. Oh, Van Dijk's fit. You see it on Twitter by opposition fans. Oh, he's finished. He's finished. You know, when Van Dijk, this is a thing people don't understand about defending as well. Van Dijk doesn't engage with the attacker when he defends. Van Dijk holds his position, but he runs backwards, but always keeping square on with his body towards the attacker and the ball. They never run past him. Like, for some reason, opposition fans want Van Dijk to engage with the attacker. Why would a defender engage with an attacker? That gives the attacker the advantage. No, Van Dijk stands his ground, keeps a little bit of space between him and the striker, and the attackers never try and take him on, ever. When was the last time you saw anyone try and take Van Dijk on? Barely ever happens. They did it last night. The Inter players were getting forward. They were trying to get one-on-ones with Van Dijk. Van Dijk would hold his ground, keep his back against the goal, keep square on in front of the attacker. And it's up to the attacker to engage Van Dijk, not the other way around. And Van Dijk will just hold his position, and they'll be like, I'm going to pass this off because I'm not going to go around Van Dijk. I'm not going to take him on. And they don't take him on. It's called exceptional defending, rival fans. You don't have to engage with the attacker and win the ball to be exceptionally good at defending. Try and work out how defending works for once. Robbo gets a 7 for me. I thought he was better than Trent last night. Fabinho gets a 7. I'll give Fabinho a 7. Thought he was decent last night. Came off after an hour. I was shocked when he came off, actually. Me and Steve both were. Elliot, I'm going to give a 5. Elliot didn't perform last night, and this is no big thing on Harvey Elliott. Harvey Elliott is 18 years of age, playing the Champions League game at San Siro. He's just come back from a 5-month injury spell. You don't expect him to be fantastic every game. It's a learning experience from him. He will learn from it. He will get better and better and better. No, let's not worry about Harvey, guys. Thiago gets a 7. It would have been a 6, but in that last 20 minutes of that game last night, I thought Thiago stepped it up a little bit and started to play a little bit better. Mo, I'm going to give a 7. He got the clutch goal at the end of the day. Mo was quiet yesterday, but there's a reason Jurgen Klopp does not substitute Mo Salah. It's because he's clutch. Yes, Bobby got the first goal. Bobby was my man of the match, giving it away now. But Salah got the clutch goal. A 2-0 lead at Inter Milan going to Anfield is game over because Inter Milan are not going to score 3 goals at Anfield without Liverpool scoring. It's just not going to happen. Salah got the clutch goal. It's what he does. That's why he never gets substituted, guys. Jota gets a 6. I thought he was poor yesterday. But obviously with his ankle. Mane gets a 6 as well. He started well, Mane. He started the game well, but he gets a bit aggressive sometimes and starts to do things that he doesn't need to do. You know, just concentrate on playing. Sometimes he gets a bit too involved for me. Does Mane sometimes. Bobby gets an 8. Bobby changed the game. Bobby changed the game for me when he came on. His ability to hold up the ball and let the defence and midfield push further up and squeeze into Milan is the reason we won this game 2-0. And then obviously he gets the first goal, the beautiful header from the front post, flicking it into the back post. Beautiful header, beautiful goal. His movement for it as well was fantastic. Yeah, Bobby was my man of the match last night. I thought he was fantastic. Hendo gets a 7. Thought Hendo was great when he came on. He was aggressive in his play. He set the tempo for the game for the last 20 minutes. Yeah, I thought he was excellent. Same with Keita. Exactly the same with Keita. Diaz the same. 7 for me. For all the substitutions played their part. And Milner a 7 as well. Milner was aggressive when he came on. Got involved. Got stuck in. I know it was only for the last 10 minutes, but I thought all the substitutions last night completely changed the game. They were aggressive. They was on the front foot, and it helped the team out much more. So, guys, that is going to be my review done today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I went a lot longer than I thought I was going to do. I was enjoying it. I was having fun. Thank you for guys being in the comments. So look out for a video from me tonight about 8 p.m. About 8 p.m. tonight, guys. I'll be doing my Liverpool versus Norwich preview. So I'll be back tonight. Friday, I'll be off. I'm off on Friday, having a day off of the family Friday. And then Saturday, me and Steve from Statman Stubbs Football Channel will be back for the watch along against Norwich. So 8 p.m. tonight, guys. I will be back. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all your comments, guys. And remember, guys, you will never walk alone.